If you're starting with like a large amount or X amount, realize how long it took you to save that amount, and then watch how fast if you start losing, how that'll affect you. Because if it took you, 5 years to save 50 grand and you're like, oh, I'm going to trade with this, and you lose 10 grand in the first week, how's that going to affect you mentally?
냉정하게 말해서 트레이딩으로 수익을 내는 건 상당히 어렵습니다. 트레이딩은 종목을 장기 보유하는 가치 투자와는 다르게 호흡 자체가 매우 빠르기도 하고, 따라서 차트를 분석하는 능력은 당연히 기본, 그 외에도 거시경제의 흐름이나 멘탈 관리까지 신경 써야 할 게 상당히 많기 때문이죠. 오늘 영상에서는 현재 전업 트레이더로 활동하고 있는 두 투자자가 어떻게 생각하고 행동하는지, 그리고 특히나 기술적인 부분보다는 멘탈적인 부분들을 어떻게 컨트롤하는지에 대해 자세히 알아보겠습니다.
What separates the people that can versus, the ones that want versus the ones that haven't, can't, won't, is, the only thing that kind of separates you is being able to control those losses. And, as long as you can control the losses, finding good trades is not the issue. It's what you do when you're wrong that's going to set you apart, that's going to, my journey, there was a lot of ups and then down, ups and then downs. And I was a very, very good trader. So being able to control those, you're able to see a much different kind of P&L curve by minimizing those losses.
Yeah, it kind of goes hand in hand with the losses. I feel like if you can accept losses, you're probably pretty disciplined. It's hard for me to trust anybody who's always won during their life too as well. It's like, I respect people more that have lost during their life because...
So the more discipline that you have in your life, not just in trading, it's all going to kind of trickle down and help you as a trader.
So you do believe that if you can be disciplined in some area, it will trickle down or help you in other areas?
Absolutely.
Definitely.
More discipline,
100%.
more consistent, less variables. Because you need to be able to come each day kind of prepared and not have to deal with this or that or all these different things. If you're rushing to the desk and then you get into a trade, you're just not ready for it.
Yeah.
What about risk?
For me, I would say I'm very risk averse, but when I see the right things, it's pedal to the metal. And if it doesn't move, if
You
it's
take on a
OTC,
position with a set risk. You kind of jump in, all right, I'm willing to lose 20, 30, 50, whatever.
Yeah.
You start with that, and then if it starts to go, you're able to scale a lot faster than somebody else.
Because I'm like, oh, this is right, or I'm wrong, I'll just take it off. But that's kind of how I've just evolved over the years. And I think it takes a lot longer than people think to figure this out, just because everybody's different. But you're never really going to get it in the first year and a half, two. Some people might, like prodigies, I guess you'd call them, but I think for most people, you got to just do it for 5 years.
Yeah, but even prodigy, at some point you got to get smoked.
Yeah.
You have to
Get whacked.
Yeah,
At least a couple times.
100%. And there's always that next one, that next potential. Obviously it's about minimizing them, but you have to understand how you felt at that time, so that next time you get that feeling,
you know what to do.
You know what to do. Most of the time, or most of the reason people blow up is because it's
you never experienced it
to see what it
before,
does mode, like we talk about all the time. But it's just part of the game, and every single great trader I've known has gotten smoked in a bad way. So if it hasn't happened yet, congratulations. But at some point, it makes you a better trader. And when you're faced, I think it helps with risk, discipline, losses.
And you can write down all the rules that you want for risk, but until you experience it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's
because then it's like hard coded in your brain and your emotions.
When you don't respect your risk, and then you're okay, I'm here now, and then you start getting all emotional. You start, you don't really have a game plan, and then they rock it. And so if you can just cut that out, if I did that with all the biggest losses I've had, I'd.
What about what about emotions?
Control them.
Yeah, the only word that came to mind was control them.
What do you mean when you think of that? When you say control them, because some people would say you can't control your emotions. What do you mean?
I don't think you can carry any emotions that you've had in the last 24 hours into the next day. I think that if you got an argument with your spouse or your girlfriend or whatever, if you take that into the computer and the setup, and you're just going to trade horribly, because that's going to be all that's on your mind. So it's the best to just avoid, at least for me, if I'm ever in that situation, which is very rare, that I won't trade, because I've learned from previous stuff in life to just don't let emotions control you, because that's the worst result you're gonna have.
Trading is a little weird though, because it does like play into regular life too, right? And it's like, as you control those, it also comes into, you know, your daily life, which you kind of have to figure out too.
Yeah.
I love that y'all both went to, when I say emotions, y'all both went to like anything. It wasn't really trading. It was just like emotions in general, of like if you're in a fight or if you had an argument with someone or feeling some type of way, any type of emotion, doesn't have to be trading related, can really interfere with your trading. So that's neat to hear that you guys both went there like right away, because it just shows that, I mean, that's happened to me for sure, where I got in a fight maybe with my wife at one time, and then in my head maybe I'm just like upset. And you trade different, and you might make some mistakes.
And the market doesn't give a shit.
Yeah,
like,
no,
the market doesn't care.
It doesn't care.
And so, like, if you're going to try to take your frustrations out on the market, good luck.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, what do you guys think is, and it's so hard. I know trading's so complicated. I know trading, there's so many things. If we had a trader here, right here, brand new, and they were like, what do I need to look out for?
Because I started from like small. So like when I learned, I lost, I mean, big to me, but it was overall in the game. If you're starting with like a large amount or X amount, realize how long it took you to save that amount, and then watch how fast, if you start losing, how that'll affect you. Because if it took you, 5 years to save 50 grand and you're like, oh, I'm going to trade with this, and you lose 10 grand in the first like week, how's that going to affect you mentally? You're probably going to be like, wow, that was a year's worth of money that I just saved.
And I think a lot of
in a
people
week.
put like not a value, but like, rent, or like they put some type of
physical monetary
to what they're trading. And
could have bought a car with this money.
the further you can disconnect from your account value, P&L swings, unrealized, realized, the further you can disconnect, the better trader you're going to be, because at the end of the day, it's
Can't think like that.
you're letting the trade work, and it's a plan, and you have to take on that risk. I mean, trading is about risk, taking on risk. And I mean, if you're always like, oh my God, I'm down my rent, like I can't, like how can you focus? How can you do that?
You have to detach from that thing completely. So, in that old song, it's like, don't count your money while you're sitting at the table, because you should be focused on other things, not how many chips you got in front of you.
And stop looking at other people's journeys and their P&L.
Everyone's
kind of
different.
crap. I mean, you mentioned it on, if you notice that, then just cut it out. Look, somebody's always going to make more money than you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fact.
Or
And
print more
your
money
best
than you.
day, your best day, guess what? Somebody else made 100 times more than that.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. And so it's your journey, and you just have to be able to control it.